I do not think that the prices are that bad. You know, we're just making things difficult for ourselves. We're making life miserable, even for those that are celebrating. I think people should just, in the spirit of the celebration, just bring down the price. Let people enjoy their celebration, for heaven's sake, so that at least they can smile, their families can eat good food. You know, you need to go to some marketplaces and see the kind of pepper that some people put on this, market stall to sell. A rotten, pepper. And trust me, some people have been buying and they will continue to buy. And this is going to be an epidemic in the nearest, future.
And unfortunately, it's not even good for the health.
That's exactly the point.
It's not good for the health.
That's because if people can't afford the good ones, they go for the bad ones. And honestly, our sellers, value chain handlers, need to turn a new leaf. It's not as expensive as that you'll be surprised. If you apply the Akinyele market, I've gone there to buy pepper before. They tell you that from the north, a tray or a basket no, not bucket. I'm saying tray. There's a tray that we buy, or basket, very big basket, may cost like 14,000 from the northern part. Now to bring it down, it gets here and they're selling for 40,000, 50,000. Even
logistics,
double, triple.
They had logistics.
Triple the cost of the pepper itself. Triple the cost. I think everybody needs to have a rethink. Government, let's just find a way around making life meaningful for Nigeria, especially our beloved brothers.
Yeah, and as much as we are talking about the celebration, of course, happy Salah in advance to every Muslim that would be celebrating. Let's also be cautious. Let's not make ourselves uncomfortable just because we want to make profit or because we want to sell our goods. Let's consider other people. And of course, looking at what's happening in Nigeria today, we don't want to add, food insecurity. We have food insecurity already, but we don't want to add shortage of it, making life unbearable. Food should be the least people would, cry about. Let's make everything easy.
For rent, we cry for transportation,
let's not
for food.
Let's not add food to it, especially when a celebration is forthcoming. Let's make things easy for ourselves. Moving on page 4, we have Appeal Court halts Accord, ADC, 3 other parties, the registration suit. Adjourned case till 27 October. Page 16 and 17. Nigeria is suffering epidemic of insecurity, epidemic of death. And that's coming from Professor Tony Falola. How our Fulani guard organized our kidnap and shot one of us in the neck. Victims tells Oyo Court. And that story is on page 10. When a guard becomes your killer, unfortunately. Moving on to page 4. Ekiti, Osun governorship polls will test INEC's readiness for 2027 elections. And that's coming from Amupiton. Insecurity, Oyo government suspends school excursions, field trips, inter-school sports, slain teacher buried in Ogbomoso. And that story is on page 4. And we have a picture of the burial of one of the teachers killed last week by bandits in Ogbomoso, Oyo State. We say may his soul rest in peace. The picture of the burial is there. And lastly, on the front page of Saturday Tribune, we have a story on page 12 and 21. My husband abandoned me on our wedding night to attend political meeting. I want our marriage dissolved. Of course, you should know what you're getting into before getting married to a politician.
Oh, my God.
All right, taking some of the inside stories. On the front page, on page 3, we have, I've been best man in 45 marriages. Half of them have scattered. And that's coming from Pretty Mike. Moving on to page 4. Oyo government suspends excursions, field trips over rising security concerns. 2027, see politics as a means of service, not personal gains. Bishop tells politicians, and that story is on page 5. Supreme Court dismisses appeal against SDP governorship primary in Ekiti. Olubadan advocates traditional medicine integration as PSN commissions building. Ondo APC rep aspirant dismisses not known at home claims. All stories on page 5. Salah, Muslims groan as price of ram hits roof. And that's on page 6, continuation of the conversation we were having earlier. And on the Ask My Doctor page, and that's on page 9, my baby's year discharge, my husband's frequent headaches, my sensitive teeth, my recurrent urine infection, can I get pregnant, dizziness with head movement. All questions on page 9 has been answered by a doctor. On page 10, crime feature, how our Fulani guard organized our kidnap and shot one of us in the neck. Victim tells Oyo court. Talking of women, wealth and wills, choose assets over liabilities, and that story, that's on page 11. Kwara South, darkness in broad daylight, still on the same page. And on entertainment, moving on to page 14, I'm looking forward to having a wife, and that's coming from Pretty Mike, and that's the serial groomsman. I mean, just as he said, you know, looking back, he said he's been best man, so a serial best man there. Afrobeat stars shine with multiple 2026 BET Award nominations. House of Sota celebrates 10th anniversary with global cultural collaboration. Nigeria is suffering epidemic of insecurity, epidemic of death. And that's from Professor Toyin Falola. And that's on page 16 and 17. It's my goal to travel, show people to the world through my lenses. And that's coming from Miracle, a travel content creator. Moving to the back page where we have some sports stories on page 30. Aguavon warns Eagles ahead AFCON 2027 qualifying campaign. Rashford Lot Emery flick after making World Cup squad. 2026 WTT contender. Agumbiade remains Nigerians' lone survivor. Ronaldo wins first Saudi title with Al Nassr. And lastly, we have City to build Guardiola's statue, remain stand in his honor. And that's all on Saturday Tribune this morning. Over to you, Jadisala.
Thank you very much. I have the Nation newspaper here with me, and I'll be taking some of the stories that made the headlines. On the front page, you have the major story there. Mutwang, Wadada, Galadima, Danladi win APC Guba primaries. With 3 riders there, through triumph in play 2, Nasarawa, Adamawa, Kwara contests. All right, Baba Wali beats 6 others, picks ticket in Yobe. Abdulrazak dumps preferred aspirant in last-minute U-turn. That story is on page 4. You have other stories there. Tears as teacher killed in Oyo school attack is buried. Why NYC member allegedly stabbed billionaire father to death in Abuja. Nigerians, others seeking U.S. green card, must return home to apply. Our teacher lured, kidnapped, killed teenager while candidate. Right, governors, Akume, others mobilized for Tinubu ahead of APC presidential nomination. With one rider there, party to hold direct primary in 8,809 wards nationwide. You also have on page 28, INEC, we will review court verdict on election timetable before taking action. You have one rider, Youth Party denies authorizing suit. The story is on page 28. All right, we'll go to some inside story page. You have other stories there. Fears in Kogi community as gunmen attack, abduct resident. Outrage greets magistrate's release of alleged rapists. Hope rises as HIV is now preventable in Cross River, 8 other states. We'll come to page 4 and 5. Zulum present Borno APC gubernatorial candidate Gunio to Tinubu. You also have ADC claims party leader were denied access to El Rufai in ICPC's custody. Yahatu Dean challenges Atiku Amechi to openly sign ethics code. On page 6 and 8 and 9, I beg your pardon, you have NDC set up 20-man selection committee for governorship NAS primaries. Court rejects suit seeking to prohibit Kingibe from ADC activity. Waste disposal as blight on Sanwo-Olu's reign. Other stories on page 9. All right, on the weekend live page, the trade by bandits, resident of Kaduna communities, narrator deal over failed peace accord with Maraduars. Right, we'll go to other stories there. Have reported challenge to appropriate quarters. That's according to the lawmaker. We'll go to other stories there. Another police school teacher dies waiting for arrears. Retired DSP loses 2.5 million pension benefit to auction vehicle syndicate. All right, on this page, a phenomenal pep dues to Catalan genius to change as Man City and English football. Moyes targets sports cap to save West Ham from relegation. You have NPFL, GTI, Laos dramatic final ahead of Sunday's title showdown. On the Saturday political story, our power rotation will shape Nigeria's 2027 election. Why I am returning to politics, Niger ADC governorship aspirant. Sokoto APC first 11. Our power rotation will shape Nigeria's 2027 election. Right, the economy begins at home. Other stories there. You have on the commentary page the primacy of consensus and direct primaries. And I'll come to page 27, or your abduction attacks. I will increase the statistics of out-of-school children. That's coming from ASUS. All right, Ogun gets new HOS, Osho traditionalist, bags death sentence over attempted rape, murder of 62-year-old grandmother. Ondo condemns rising case of child abuse, trafficking, bullying in schools. And of course, Group Empower 50 Widows, petty trader in Lagos Island. All right, INEC, we will review court verdict on election timetable before taking action. Tax reform, Nasarawa Varsity done urges tax education for Nigerians. You have Imo police arrest 179 suspects, recover heavy weapons, rescue kidnap victims. And you have a lot of stories on this page. 2027, Enugu NDC throws governorship ticket open. Wow. All right, NYSC commitment to national unity, youth development, selfless service unwavering. And we'll come to page 30. 5 Ogoni community leaders arrested over alleged intimidation, other offenses. Terrorism case, court rejects Unwo Koni's bid to retrieve passport for foreign trip. We come to the sport extra page. We are not selling Oseme. That's coming from Galatasaray's boss. You have Oyindika lifts Belgian league title with Club Brugge. Ladeji wins trailing first, commercial bank OBJ Golf Tunnel. LSSTF distributes sport equipment to 1,020 public schools. Letter to Bukola Olopade. You have that also there. And of course, those are the stories that made a headline from the Nation's newspaper. But before we go to the governor's activities this morning, I'd like to call on your state environmental ministry, Ministry of Environment, and agencies under them. This morning, I saw a dead body that was, I think the person was rammed, at a GIA. And you could see the person's hand separated on the floor in the middle of the road, the body like it was dragged on the floor for a long time. They should quickly get into action to remove that dead body before it becomes something else, in the middle of the express at Ajia, very close to the new bridge that the state government is constructing. We'll go to the governor's activities, and when we come back, of course, we'll serve you with Travelog. Stay with us, don't go away.
This week's activities of Governor Seyi Makinde commenced on Sunday, 17th May 2026, as the governor addressed a press conference on the attack carried out by suspected bandits on schools in Orire local government area of Oyo State. briefing journalists on the current situation following the attack allegedly carried out by suspected bandits on Community High School, Auru Eshele, LA Basic School, Auru Eshele, and First Baptist Church Nursery and Primary School, Yawata, in Orire local government area of the state. The Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, confirmed that 7 teachers were abducted during the attack, while 1 teacher was reportedly killed in their custody, according to a video circulating on social media.
What we know right now is that 7 teachers in all are involved, were abducted, and unfortunately we got a video this morning that one of the teachers, I understand the maths teacher, was killed by the terrorists. We are not taking this lightly. I want to appeal to everybody, citizens, residents, in particular of Orire local government and the rest of your states. I want to appeal that we're doing everything within our power to ensure that this we resolve quickly and we bring our children back safely.
He further stated that 2 operatives of the Western Nigeria Security Network, codenamed Amatekun Corps, sustained injuries during the attack and are currently receiving treatment at a hospital.
After the incident, Amatekun, the police, the military, hunters, non-state actors were mobilized to go after the terrorists, and it was along that line that they ran into improvised explosives, and then some of the Amatekun operatives were wounded.
Governor Makinde also revealed that 6 members of the community suspected to have connection with the attack have been arrested and are currently undergoing interrogation as part of the ongoing investigations into the incident.
The information available from the Commissioner of Police, about 6 individuals have been arrested within the locality. Some of them we believe they are perhaps informants or people running logistics for the terrorists. And also 3 individuals of interest have also been arrested by another security outfit within the state. We're putting all of this information together to make some sense out of it. But the bottom line is that if there's no government presence, the people will want to bend them to deal with the terrorists.
While condoling with the families of those who lost their loved ones in the attack, Governor Makinde assured residents that the state government will provide daily updates until the situation is completely brought under control.
1 or 2 briefings should see us out of this situation. But the people have the right to know, what we're doing. And we will try our best, not to reveal any tactical operational trajectory.
Security chiefs and security advisors to the governor were also in attendance at the briefing. On Monday, 18th May, Governor Makinde provided further updates on efforts being made to secure the release of the abducted teachers and students in Orire local government area of the state. Addressing journalists during a press conference held at his private residence in Ibadan, the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, described the situation as fluid and difficult, noting that security operations are still ongoing to ensure the safe release of the abductees. Governor Makinde disclosed that 7 secondary school students from Community High School, Auru Eshele, 18 pupils from First Baptist Church Nursery and Primary School, Yawata, as well as 7 teachers were abducted during the attack.
As a government, we will not give in to terror. We will do everything to ensure that our children and their teachers are returned safely. And I'm also saying this to the group. Just whatever it is. So whatever it is they demand, we're ready to listen to them, address the ones that we can address as a state government, but the children and their teachers must be released timely.
Speaking on the surveillance aircraft procured by the state government, Governor Makinde disclosed that the aircrafts have already arrived in Nigeria from China and are currently at the Nigeria Air Force Base in Lagos, where contractors are reassembling them ahead of their operational deployment.
The surveillance aircraft, they've arrived in the country. They are at the Nigerian Air Force hangar in Lagos, being reassembled. The manufacturer from China, they arrived in country about 3 days ago. They should have about 2 weeks, roughly, to finish their work. So I can say conclusively that those surveillance aircraft should be in operation on or before the end of June. However, we were proactive. We wanted to be able to cover the borderline, between Oyo State and Kwara, and also the international border between Oyo State and the Republic of Benin.
Describing the situation as sensitive and urging people to report responsibly, Governor Makinde disclosed that the state government has established an operational center at the state police headquarters to provide necessary information and coordinate responses. On Wednesday, 28th May, Governor Makinde signed Executive Order 001 of the 2026 into law.